there was something you said before that I wanted to give you a little bit of pushback on, and I think I'm going to do it now a little bit. Is you said that, and I think this is the expectation of a lot of people. Is teachers are expected to like make teaching their everything. Mm-hmm. It is expected. We are expected to be martyrs, like you said. And I feel like the most successful teachers, and this is an attitude that I like to take, and it's something I don't share very freely. I guess I'm going to do it now to the entire audience right here. But it's something I don't like to share freely because I think people frown upon it. Is teaching is very much not my life. Mm. You know? Like there is a Mr. Velez, that's my teacher name, and there is a Louis Velez or a Louis Velez, that's the person I am. I feel like the people that go into teaching and they're like, this is going to be my life. I'm here to change the world. I'm here to make everything better. Those are the ones that flame out because it's like progress moves slow. You know what I mean? And it's like when you have a kid for 9 months, 10 months, when they're in crisis, either emotionally or at home where they're not, the school that I work at, we have, one of the teachers told me that like we have the most homeless student. We have one of the most homeless populations in the entire city. You know what I mean? So it's like, how much can I really change about their lives?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, if you go in there with this attitude, hey man, I'm trying to change people's lives, I'm trying to change everything, you're going to have a bad time. You know what I mean? So that's how I kind of look at it. It was like, I have these kids for 10 months. And I need to do the best that I can do, not to change their entire lives, but when they get to that next step, when they get to that next place, that they're able to take it. So I feel like that's what, like when I try to do all my work at school, when I'm off the clock, I'm off the clock. And I know
you need
that. You do need that. You need that 100%, but it's like people take that very poorly. Because I am a teacher. I'm supposed to be a hero. I'm supposed to be selfless. Yes. I'm supposed to stop caring about everything else. Right. And it's like, no, I'll never do that. And I feel like that's what makes me, I don't give that attitude ever. And I feel like that's what makes me an effective teacher. But the reason why I think you were set up in a way that messed you up, DOE, we have a strong union. So it's like, even when I think I need to go further, there'll be somebody that's in there that's been in that job for 10, 15, 20 years. They'll be like, yo, dude, you need to chill the fuck out. Where in a charter school where I came before this DOE situation, or in a Catholic school where they're literally fighting for their lives, they're not going to tell you that. They're going to take every single ounce of you that they can, throw you out, because they know there's going to be an advisor at some college, Catholic college,
who's going to feed another college student.
I got somebody that's perfect for you. Yeah. Because they know there's a kid that needs a job no matter what.
Yeah. Is that how you felt, Sasha?
That just made my mind blow.
I try to say, I don't want to say too much in the car.
No, but like it's to an extent, it's not your fault, right? I think that when we graduate college, we're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kids. Like, yes, okay, now I'm done with school. What's going to be my mark on the world? I want to change the world. That's how I felt coming out of law school, right? And when I became a public defender, that's why. I'm like, yo, they're locking up all these black people for nothing. Like, it's crazy, right? I want to change everything about the system, tear it down to the ground. And then you get in that system, it's like,
I'm going to do what I can.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
Like, yo, in what are we, year 8? It's going to be...
We're about to enter year 8.
Yeah, in year 8, it's like, listen, man, you need to just take this and just get the fuck on with your life. Like, it's like you can't fight everything, like, and there's no way. And you have to, like, Louis is the minority. I've never heard anybody who had that type of outlook on life from the start. Like, that's crazy.
Wait, a lot of teachers have that outlook. It's just, it is...
not glorified.
It's not glorified.
Yes, that might be what it is. Yes,
and it's like, I kind of keep it to myself, but it's like...
No, you got to share that, bro.
Yeah, it's very hard. And I think I'm willing to share that now because I'm in a DOE where I have a union that's protecting me. But I kind of had that outlook at a charter school when I was working at a charter school before. I'm like, well, no, I mean, I need to live my life. I need to be about me. And that's where they were like, hey, you're not.
Nah, fuck you.
I am right there with you.
Unions matter, baby.
Back when it made a difference on my day-to-day work schedule, I was what they called a DAT king. And maybe you can explain what that means to them.
The littlest work possible for the max amount of gains. That's what it was, right? The minimum allowed, but you can't say I'm not doing my job because I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
But it's the minimum in my contract.
So
right?
a DAT is what they call a desk
appearance
ticket. And it's basically like you're still charged with a crime, but you don't have to come on day one. You don't have to go through
We're not going to put you through the system.
And it's usually...
But you also got to behave yourself for the next 6 months to a year.
No, that's called an ACD. A DAT, ACD is you're already in the system. A DAT basically means, let's say you get arrested for
Pissing in public.
like pissing in public. No, you might just get a summons for that. Let's say you get arrested for like driving without a license, driving with a suspended license, bullshit cases. What they'll sit there and say is like, all right, we're not gonna like take the next 12 to 24 hours of your time. We're going to give you a ticket and trust you that you're gonna come back. Even though you're being charged with a crime, and then
you're not gonna see a judge that night.
And what I realized from jump, it was like when they come back, because they've already proven to the court that they can come to court, they're not gonna get put in jail, right? And a lot of things have changed since I first started, but it's people are get used to get put in jail for bullshit back in the day, and I'm talking about a few years ago. So I realized like. Disappearance ticket. That's called a arraignment shift. Like I have to go to that part so I can arraign these people, and vice versa. I can go to people who actually get put to jail. So what I realized, people for whatever reason hated DATs because in a regular arraignment shift where people are going through the system, you're doing like 5 to 20 cases. At a DAT, you're doing like 30 cases minimum. But the thing is, you're doing 30 cases. You don't really have to do a bail application. You don't have to work. Like the conversation could be a lot shorter. It's more like, hey, you facing some bullshit. I'm gonna get you a discount. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Basically, you ain't going to jail.
You ain't going to jail.
That's not wasting nobody's time.
So what I realized is that fuck that. This is a good way to do my job. Be a public defender, serve my community or whatever you want to call it, but fucking take some stress off of me. Like, well, I don't need to work hard. Like. I don't need to do extra work for anything. And it's like, and I think the point of me telling that story is that realizing that there's having a job and then there's doing it well, and then there's also managing your own mental health in that process. And if you don't do that correctly, you can get burned out or you can stop wanting to be a teacher.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a pattern where there's the educators, a lot of them they're out by year 5. That's like something that really happens because, which is something I struggle with, is like not taking work home, like in the emotion, right? So I'm working at junior high school, and a lot of these kids, are not only they live in poverty, but they also like their mannerisms are very disrespectful. Like they say, like they're especially from COVID and the pandemic, they have like this. They don't have this social emotional awareness, and they're also junior high school kids, so they lack empathy, and so I have to keep reminding myself like, no, Jack, don't kick this kid down the stairs, don't punch him in the face, it's first off, you're gonna go to jail, you're gonna lose your job, but then second of all, what are they gonna learn? They're not really gonna learn from you snuffing them, They're not. They're just gonna learn to react to violence.
Yeah, they might learn something.
Or that I'm teaching them that how you solve your problems is through violence, which they already do that, right? And since September, I've broken up like 15 fights.
Damn.
And 14 of them have been between girls.
Damn.
Like, the girls are ruthless. And the things that they say so it's like I'm frazzled after breaking up a fight because I get scratched. I get hit in the mouth, I've got filled out a lot of reports of me just getting hit and these kids getting suspended, and it's like I need a period after that to cool down, but you really don't get that. Now, I'm very fortunate enough that my administration, they're very kind to me. And they're like, Mr. Gomez, we understand. You just got punched in the face. Like, you know, you just broke up this fight between 5 girls. Like you could take a minute.
You got a union?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I'm working the same system. Yeah. And so, but my principal could be like, no, go to your next class. Like, you just got hit, cool. Go to your next class. And I could grieve it and all this other, but I'm fortunate for that. But it's hard to, like, not take that home. Because then I'm going home to Valeria like, yo, these fucking kids, man, I swear to God, I'm going to get my little cousin to come up and snuff one of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So it's...
And you go to jail.
You can go to jail.
Jack, thank you for sharing that. But he touched on really 3 important things that there are in teaching. And I can remember 2 of them right now. I think I lost the third one. But 2 of them at least. One thing, and probably Sasha remembers this too, one of the things teachers say, do not take it personal.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, don't take it personal. Because I'll have kids, like, they'll make fun of my height, not my height. They'll make fun of my hair, they'll make fun of my belly, they'll make fun of it. They'll say whatever they can to get a rise out of you.
Yeah.
And it's like, they get very, now I remember the third thing. So they'll say whatever they can. So it's like, number 1, don't take it personal. Because a lot of the times it's like, they're not mad at you. They're mad with something going on with themselves. So they're like, they want to transfer that to somebody.
Yep.
To like, so let me pick on what I think this person's insecurity is.
Projection.
And then let me pick on what I think this person's insecurity is. Get it out of me so that I can transfer my anger to them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing. Another thing they used to tell us a lot too is that for a lot of these kids, unfortunately, because of the strife that they're going on with at home and the strife that their parents are going on with at home, is that for a lot of them, school is the most positive place that they can be. You know what I mean? Teachers there, and it's like, I hate to use the word hate, but I'm going to use it anyway. I hate when teachers blame families and blame parents because they make it seem like there are perfect circumstances where all they can do is focus on their student and on their education. And they really can't. They got to worry about their job. They got to worry about how they're going to make money. They got to worry about They have to worry about all that real life stuff where teachers, we really don't. We only see these kids, so it's very easy to be like, oh, well, mom should be more involved. Dad should be more involved. Auntie or uncle, whoever it may be, should be more involved. But in the case, that's not really what it is. Right. You're worried about getting thrown out of your apartment. You're worried about how you're going to work. You're worried about how you're going to, put food. So it's like at that point, they're going to have all those negative behaviors because it's like they're around situations where it's like they're not seeing the positive behavior. So we kind of need to model that for them. Right. And then the third thing that he was talking about that I think is really smart is, and this is another teacher saying, and maybe I'm sure maybe Jack has heard of it, maybe Sasha's heard of it as well, is you can't pour from an empty cup. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're stressed out, imagine the principals, the administration that's letting Jack take a minute to breathe, that's letting him refill himself. That's letting him refill himself so that he could help people out. But if you're throwing people into situations where they're not ready, where they need a breath, all you're doing is making it worse because you're pouring from an empty cup. Like if I have an empty cup, I can't give you nothing. There's nothing to give. There's nothing giving nothing. You know what I mean?
DHE's kept me real full, baby.
All you're doing is making it worse. So it's like I don't know what kind of Jack school works at, but I don't know what his administration's like, but all 3 of those things, it seems like they're doing the right job.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're awful at other stuff, but with those 3 things,